My name is Aaron. Many of you guys may recognize me from Investment Hour. That's our weekly class on market updates and business case studies from that week to help you guys solidify the lessons from our coursework in the real world around you. I guess I'll start here. This was one of the happiest days of my life when my brother picked up the Wall Street Journal from the local cafe, and we found the article that was written about me and the real estate investment trust that I was researching, which I concluded was a Ponzi scheme. I don't know why I was even more excited when I saw this on mobile. I don't know. I was on Fox Business News. Other things you should know about me, if you couldn't tell already, that's not a good enough word. I love investing. This is a snapshot from my Google Drive where I put all of the stocks that I've researched over the past 6 years. In high school, I woke up every single morning at 5:30 without an alarm because I was just so excited to check the markets to see whether they were up or down, how my positions were doing. I would flip through earnings transcripts and analyst reports to see what stocks were good or what stocks they thought were good. I learned about so many different businesses. When we were driving on the highway, I would always tell my parents, hey, that's a Freightliner heavy-duty truck, or that's a Peterbilt truck, and hey, did you know that a third of Peterbilts have Cummins diesel engines in them? Or in my valedictorian speech from high school, I spoke about shell eggs because I just researched Cal-Maine's, a shell egg manufacturer. Yeah, I still do that today. I'm really embarrassing like that. I've been managing my parents' investments since I was 15. I started a club at UC Berkeley. As it pertains to finance, I've been around the block. I've worked with someone who manages a family office. I also worked with a long-only hedge fund manager. For the people who don't know, long-only means they only invest in companies that they think will increase in value over time. I've also worked on the complete other side. I've worked on the short side. That's betting that stocks will go down in value over time. I currently work as a due diligence and financial fraud consultant for certain investigative journalists and hedge funds. I just think incentives in the financial industry, as I see it and as I've experienced it, really drive people to not stand out, to not make super big calls, to stay around consensus, and to follow what management says. Most people in finance, I would say, are ostriches. They keep their heads in the sand and they do what they're told, That leads to huge problems, as you can imagine. Whenever there's no critical thinking in an industry, you have bad things that happen. One, for example, is the financial crisis of 2008. This is a quote that Mark Twain actually wrote, but Warren Buffett quotes all the time. He says, "The chains of habit are often too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken." That's true for lots of things, but it's especially true for financial education. If you don't have the right basics, if you don't have the basics established, you can't move forward. You're not going to be able to reason from first principles. You won't be able to reason from good foundations. You'll have to reason from analogy, whatever your boss says or whatever. And that makes all the difference. So our hope is that through making these courses and hosting weekly investment hours, you too can be a better investor. But more importantly, broader, that you're a more critical thinker, that you look around yourself and you see what are the opportunities that I can take advantage of, or what are things that people need that I can provide? What value can I add to this world? We have the same financial literacy courses that we've had before the financial crisis took place, and that's not okay. We've not gone past budgeting and saving and all of these basic financial literacy topics that are totally important, but we need to go further than that. We need a population, especially starting young, that is educated in financial topics and can make financial decisions for themselves. So when I look around me and the people who talk to me, they always say I want to learn more about financial topics. I wish I had financial education earlier. And so that's what we want to provide for you guys. There's the last point I want to make, which is the difference between financial education and financial literacy. we want to go beyond financial literacy. We want to encourage critical thinking. Whenever you hear people say, oh, I'm literate, like, it doesn't mean someone who's literate can analyze Shakespeare or write a story or write an article. You need more than literacy if you want to be a true maverick, a true critical thinker, a true contributor to society. That's all for me. Happy learning and happy investing.